Today in episode 1 I'm going to talk about the reason so many of us are at home at this time, the coronavirus, and its resulting illness, COVID-19. You'll notice that although it has an official name, lots of people still call it coronavirus. This is probably because when it started it was known as 2019 novel coronavirus. This was a bit of a mouthful, so many people shortened it to coronavirus, and that has stuck in our memories. But actually, this isn't a very accurate name because there are 7 strains of human coronavirus in the world, and both SARS and MERS were also coronaviruses. Also, remember that COVID-19 is the name of the disease, not the virus itself. The virus that causes COVID-19 is actually SARS-CoV-2. Other confusing words we're hearing a lot in relation to COVID-19 are epidemic and pandemic. The difference between the two is scale, the number of people infected, and geography, the location of the infection. An epidemic is when a disease has spread widely in a specific geographical area. That geographical area might be a country, a region or a continent. But while it's contained in that area, a disease is considered an epidemic. A pandemic is larger. This word is used when a disease has spread globally. Originally COVID-19 was focused in Asia, and it was called an epidemic. Then after it spread widely to other continents, it was called a pandemic. Having said that, there's no clear moment when a disease goes from being epidemic to pandemic, so we rely on the World Health Organization, or WHO, to decide. In the case of COVID-19 they changed the designation from epidemic to pandemic on March 11, 2020. Finally, let's look at 3 more terms related to this COVID-19 pandemic: social distance, quarantine and isolation. Many people around the world are currently practicing some form of social distancing. From light distancing measures like trying not to stand too close to people on public transport or not shaking hands and hugging when you meet, to more drastic measures like staying home as much as possible and only chatting to friends and family online. The second term, quarantine, is normally used when someone is living at a strict social distance from everyone because they might have the disease. Maybe someone they know and have met recently has it, or they visited an area where lots of people are infected. As COVID-19 doesn't always make you ill for the first few days, people are usually in quarantine for about 14 days before they feel safe to assume they don't have the disease. And finally, if someone is unfortunate enough to get COVID-19, they'll almost certainly go into isolation to protect everyone else. This means that they're unable to see anyone apart from medical professionals wearing special clothes called personal protective equipment, or PPE, to keep them safe, at least until they've recovered and are no longer testing positive for the virus. Okay everyone, that's it for today's episode. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode.